Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. I want to remind you to remember to like and share these videos so others can find them, and also don't forget to subscribe to the channel. And don't forget to click on the notification bell so you can be notified whenever a new video comes out. This is Beverly Lorraine Green, and I want to tell you the story of what she has done that makes her famous. Now, Beverly Lorraine Green was born on October 4th, 1915 in Chicago. Her father was an attorney, and his name was James A. Green, and his wife, her mother, was named Vera. Now, Beverly was their only child, and she attended the University of Illinois at Champaign-Urbana in 1936. She graduated with a bachelor's degree in architectural engineering. She then remained on at the university to continue her coursework, where she earned a master's degree a year later in city planning and housing. She then went on to work in the city of Chicago in 1937 for the Kenneth Roderick O'Neill's architecture firm. This was the first architectural firm led by an African American architect, and it was located in downtown Chicago. I should mention Chicago is my hometown. That's where I grew up. Now, in 1938, she was hired by the Chicago Housing Authority, where she worked on plans for a new housing project called Ida B. Wells Housing. Now, the project was under construction from 1939 to 1941, and it consisted of 1,662 units. It was built to house Black families that were segregated on the south side of the city. Other housing projects were going up within the city as well, more north, and they were for white residents only. Now, Beverly eventually applied for her license for architecture with the state of Illinois, and on December 28, 1942, at the age of 26, she became the first licensed African American woman architect in the United States. Her Illinois certificate number is 3002. One day, Beverly came across a newspaper article that sparked her interest. The article was discussing the building of a new housing development project at Stuyvesant Town in New York City, and it was being built by the Metropolitan Life Insurance Company. So she applied for the job, and to her surprise, she was hired for the project. So she moved to New York City in 1944, and the newspapers took notice of her presence in town, citing that she was in New York and she was there to stay. When Beverly arrived in New York City, she visited the Columbia University campus because she just wanted to inquire about coursework in the evening. But she was accepted into their master's program with a full scholarship, so she was only on the job with the Metropolitan Life Insurance Company for 2.5 days before she left the project to start school. She finished her program in 1945, and she obtained a master's in architecture. From there, she went to work at the Isidore Roosevelt firm, and she worked on 2 projects during her time at this firm. One project was the theater that was built at the University of Arkansas, and the second project was the arts complex at Sarah Lawrence College that was built in 1952. She eventually left the Isidore Roosevelt firm to work with one of the most famous architects at that time, Marcel Breuer, in 1955. And she worked on one of the most recognized buildings in the world. She worked on the designs for the UNESCO United Nations headquarters in Paris. She also worked on some of the designs for the University Heights campus buildings for New York University. Now, she died on August 22nd, 1957 in New York at the age of 41 years old after a brief and sudden illness. So unfortunately, both of these projects that she worked on the designs for were completed after her death. So she did not get to see the final product. She had her funeral service at Unity Funeral Home, which is where Malcolm X was also serviced. And this was special because during her time that she worked on the designs for the UNESCO building in the New York University Heights campus, she worked on her own outside of work on the project to redesign the building for this funeral home. The owner of the building wanted to redesign it from what it was and turn it into a funeral home. It was a 2-story building. So she took that job on herself alone, and she redesigned the building and worked through all of the renovations for that. So she had her funeral service at this facility. They did it to honor her. Now, she also worked on many other projects in her lifetime as well. You can see a list of those on the screen. And most of the buildings that she designed or helped design are still in use today. And she did a few interviews in her lifetime for some newspapers. And in one newspaper, this is something she stated about her work. And I will quote, she stated, "I wish that young women would think about this field. Never did I have one bit of trouble because I was a Negro, although there had been arguments about hiring a woman. However, the war ended that, and Negro women in the post-World War will have a fertile field in architecture. I wish some others would try it." Beverly Lorraine Green had multiple firsts in her life. One of the biggest is just merely being the first African American woman architect who was licensed in the United States. So guys, I hope you enjoyed this brief little story about Beverly Lorraine Green. And I want to thank you for watching and listening. And please remember to like, share, and subscribe. Help me reach 1,000 subscribers. And as always, I will see you soon.